Yes.
We back.
May already, man. Yes, flying. As always, welcome to the Freedom Cage podcast, where we lock into a free state of mind each and every pay week on all DSPs, of course. To my right, I got my main guy, my ace. My left and my right is weak, Sean, better known as Mr. Senioli on all your socials.
You know.
And me, I'm Kenny, man, also known as Ken Kaepernick on all those socials. But today, it's May. The weather is yet to break yet here in the city, but I'm a hoodie fan, so it all works out in my favor. But
Likewise.
as always, brother, how have you been? How are your last couple of weeks in the world?
It's been good, man. I mean, it's Autism Awareness Month, finishing that up. We
Mm-hmm.
had thank you to Deandra and Ebony for
Yes,
coming
yes,
back.
big things.
Yeah, so we had a really good session at work where some people got to express their journeys and find out more about autism. So that was really cool to be a part of. And, always finishing the month on a good note. I was able to have a nice guest speaker series with some Ohio State University alum
Nice,
talking talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So
Did,
that was the
did,
close, man. Family's good, everybody's healthy, smiles all around, man.
did LeBron stop there? Was he in town that time? Anytime you got an Ohio-based event, you know what I mean. You always gotta just keep the door open, crack, just in case somebody want to show up late.
Yeah, it's still virtual at the moment, man.
I'll just take a
who
zoom.
knows?
I'll just take a zoom.
What about you, man?
Past few weeks was good, man. Took a trip with the wife, couple couples. Went, came back. Uh, made it through customs, but other than that, everything worked out, man. No issues. Trip was fine. Have you ever zip lined before though?
Yes.
Uh, was it an enjoyable experience for you?
Yeah, man. The funny thing about it in Jamaica, the people who were at the place, they made it very fucking interesting. Like
How
they,
so?
so the first time, like when one of the guys was coming down, he was acting like he was drunk and damn near fell down the stairs.
Mm.
Then they told this lady that, they weren't gonna let her go, and then they faked like let her go like she wasn't set in the fucking
Mm.
joint, right? But she was good. They made the whole experience really dope.
Okay, okay. They were trying to scare the shit out of you. That's what it was. Yeah, I'm not really good with the whole scare tactics in foreign countries. Like, if the person in front of me ain't happy, I'm gonna back up off the line. Like, just out of pure like, hey, they're not happy. Maybe I won't be happy neither. But zip lining was fun. But there was this other little escapade where you kind of like almost Tarzan yourself into a body of water. You let go, you drop down. Life vest floats up. And to my knowledge, up until this very point, I had the belief that I could swim. Like, what I mean, I'm not like I don't play on the deep side of the pool anyway. I'm over 4 foot kind of guy, maybe five. But I assumed, hey, I can swim. I'll be all right. I had the vest on. I drop down. I float up as always, as you should with the vest on. Trying to swim to the ladder and I'm just swimming in place, man. They had to come and save me and shit. It was embarrassing. But yeah, never drown with a life vest on. It's a one, you won't get to tell the story, but two, it's nobody wants to tell that story for you neither. No,
Yeah, I just believe some life vests aren't regulation. My wife argues with me all the time because when we did DR, when we first got together, like literally, as soon as I hit the water, it was at my neck. I never rose back up.
no.
I grab onto the boat. I'm back in the boat.
Like it's funny. They always make sure you got the life vest on, but no one ever lets you know what to do when this life vest starts working in your favor. Like, what I mean? In the event it doesn't go in your favor,
Right.
there's no backup plan for the vest. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I thought I could swim, didn't work out. They had to come save me like a 6-year-old. But I made it, man. Made it back. Made it to the ladder. Happy to tell the story. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying? But
definitely.
other than that, man, cool couple weeks, man. No complaints on my end.
That's good.
May. God, shit flew by.
Yo, man, listen.
Shit flew by already. Flew by.
2022 is not playing games, man.
Nah, taking name, making list. You know the vibes.
Yeah, but going into this first episode, people, we just wanted to bring awareness that last month was also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And on April 27th, it was actually Denim Day. Now, Denim Day has an origination from back in 1992 in Italy, where a young lady who was 18 was raped by a 42-year-old. He was convicted, sent to prison. Somehow, the justices in Italy felt that her jeans were too tight and she had to have removed them for this gentleman to have sex with her, thereby implying consent to the sex. and his conviction was overturned. So the very next day, all the women in Parliament wore denim in solidarity for this young lady.
That's a wild take for them to assume, like the fact that the jeans might have been a bit fitting,
Yeah.
that rape was impossible.
Yeah.
Sad but true. But in Hollywood movies, when there's a rape victim, the clothing never matters, no matter what's happening. Ease of access, of course, is one thing, but if there's a rapist trying to rape, they make sure they get, unfortunately, to the goal. But that was a weird turn of events at that time and day. It's funny, until you mentioned, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
The day itself of it being Denim Day, but wow.
Yeah.
It was just confusing.
Yeah.
It's like-
Honestly, when I first heard about it, because of all the diversity events that we do, it was through a coworker of mine that shared it, because a cousin of hers and their sorority always try and get donations for their chapter, because we actually have a program in the health institution I work for where it provides resources for people who've been victims. And you'll be surprised, man. I mean, in this diversity work, every day I'm learning something new. And then, of course, you got to fact check it on fact check it on fact check it, because anybody will sell you anything just to get you to talk about it. But after like really researching and stuff, it was like, wow. Like, so the good thing about it is we got a bunch of people who came into the office to wear denim, and then some people even took pictures with denim on Zooms and sent them in. So, you know, shout out to my company. It was really good.
Yeah, it's always good to spread the word, bring light and voices to those that might have been misrepresented or misunderstood at the point in time when the actual event took place.
Right.
So shining any sort of light on any situation that deserves it, I'm always for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Denim Day, 4/27. Marketing and calendars for future reference.
Yeah.
Make sure you got make sure you do the tuxedo from Canada whenever you can. Another thing for this month, turns into Mental Health Awareness Month.
That's correct.
Damn, and Ben just got knocked out the playoffs. That sucks.
Yeah, I mean, especially for black men, man, when it comes to mental health, I can't stress enough, brothers. You know, if you're going through something, find somebody to talk to, find somebody to confide in. There's so many people that after the fact, when they've either done something or have, you know, taken their own lives, it's like, you know, what happened? What could we have done? And especially in black males, we are not allowed the forums to express ourselves enough.
You weren't built up that way or trained to understand your faults to that extent.
Right.
Like you were saying, probably 9 out of 10 times, they don't even know they have an issue until it spills over and it's too late and erupts or blows up at an unfortunate time and day. But yeah, man, get help if you even sense that you might be in some sort of doubt about it. Just look into it. Therapy is a very good thing, and you don't literally need to go to a therapist to have it. Like, if you have friends, don't just talk about, you know, Saturday night. Just fucking talk. Like, be a man with your other, you know, males in your life, or even with, you know, any older female in your life. Get the word out. You'd be surprised what someone else knows just by you asking a question or looking for someone's input. But don't try not to wait till it's too late, because no one can help you at that point, unfortunately.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The other week here in Brooklyn, there was a very, very tragic situation that took place at the subway, not too far from the Barclays Center, actually, where a gentleman dressed up in almost like an MTA gear just started to let off shots in a very tight-knit, close rush hour situation. A majority of Sunset Park was shut down that day, and the piggyback right off of that, the mayor he might have went off the rails a little bit as far as proposing or even spitting his idea out loud for the press to hear, but he was stating something about proposing metal detectors on subways. In theory, it sounds great, but the dollars needed to actually put that into play and actually enforce it, that's a bill I don't think New York City is willing to pay.
Right.
It sounds good, like I said, in theory, but if you ever been at a club line trying to get in with metal detectors and security, you could be outside for 15, 20 minutes just trying to get into the doorway. Imagine 40, 50 people, separate exits, trying to get into the same thing. and everybody's gonna have metal on them. Who doesn't? Like, you know what I mean? Keys, phones. No one's going through that protocol.
Right.
I wish them the best with that thought, but I don't think it's ever gonna come into fruition. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the closest way you get that to work, and it's still a hit or miss, is if you make people start reserving to get on the train. Because at least you have some sort of head count or who's coming in at what times. You have to revamp the transportation system to make it real. And let's not act like the subways are the only place where things happen.
It's not.
You know,
things happen above ground all the time.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Good luck with that, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I wish him the best with that. It's a tangent. I just already forgot about it. But with the NBA, we are in full playoff swing.
Yes, sir.
Mentioned quickly that Ben just got knocked out. The Nets are officially gone. They got swept by the Boston Celtics.
I know Ben's the butt of this, but we can't associate with him with getting knocked out.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all. He had no part in this whatsoever. Other than some fly fits, he had nothing to do with the situation of the Nets.
Right.
I can't even say it was a distraction. Like, maybe the colors. But other than that, like, Stephen A. pretty much nipped it all in the butt this past week. But did you see them getting swept, though?
No, I did not see them getting swept, but it was, in my opinion, I don't know what happened to, not to KD, but to Kyrie. Everybody's bound to have a bad game. I'm pretty sure we go look in Jordan, Kobe's history. Mm-hmm. We can find some terrible playoff appearances where it was like, wow, like what happened that series, right? But I also lean very heavily on the fact that Steve Nash is not exempt from what happened
at all.
Granted, he's been through a lot through the last 2 years, and kudos to all the ESPN analysts that were talking about it this week, just like you said. But for me, in those moments where you see coaches make adjustments, right? They'll sub a guy in, or they'll, you know what I mean? They'll take a guy and put him in a different position. It just wasn't happening for Steve. He was just out there looking at KD like, do something. Mm-hmm. Kyrie, you do something.
Yeah.
It became one-on-one basketball from game 2 on, and it was just like, wow.
You can't win a professional basketball game
right.
like that. Like, there have to be adjustments, there have to be changes, you have to move with the flow of the ball. If you see your stars aren't producing at this very moment, try plays with other players. There has to be someone else on this 15-man roster that could give us 2 points this possession. Mm-hmm. That could get us to stop this possession. No one else just wanted to step up at that point in time. It was just sad to see. Like, I was hoping to get a win, but they got swept, and they have to pack up on their home court. At least they didn't have far to go, but still, like, I just don't know how or what they do to go into next season with like any sort of positivity.
I mean, the positive is you still have KD, so you have a cornerstone, and then you gotta figure out, are you 100% sold on Kyrie? Because if you are, then it's like, okay, we know we got our top 2. Now we got to worry about the pieces around them. Who do they need? Who has made KD successful in his career? Who has made Kyrie successful in his career?
Listen, unless they plan on getting Steph or Braun on the roster next year, I don't know. I mean, then you kind of look at KD post Golden State, and it doesn't feel good. Like, it just doesn't feel good.
Well, he hasn't had a consistent team. You know what I mean?
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you get pieces and they're healthy and they get some full season team chemistry, then that's a full season of KD having everything he needs. And then, to me, that's when you can judge and say, okay, KD, now what? You know what I mean? He's the last 2 years, even Stephen A. was talking about this with Steve Nash. The last 2 years, they have not had a full set of guys to go and do anything.
True.
So hopefully that can happen with the 2022-2023 season. But the Celtics are rolling right now, and I just want to bring up something that this is a team that has a core that, let's not forget, in 2017-2018 season, this is the team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals when Kyrie got hurt, when Gordon Hayward got hurt, and Terry Rozier, Marcus Smart, all those guys, Terry's gone. They took him to 7 games. They took Braun to 7 games.
That's a fact.
Right? Then in the bubble, they lost to the Heat to get to the final. So nobody should be shocked that Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart are just going off.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just kudos to Danny Ainge. I know he stepped down, but this was the vision that he had back then when he let Paul Pierce and them go.
That's a fact.
Of rebuilding this franchise, and it's in great hands. And they were just too much. They were faster. They were more aggressive. Mm-hmm. And Jason Tatum, I think you said it best the other day. He's got that Mamba glare, and I don't care who's in front of him right now. It looks like it's going to be them and the Bucks.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters, man. They're going to have to put those two out of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good series if they match up and catch each other. But Tatum, like he's really grown in front of your eyes, and you see the growth and the betterment from one season to the next. Each time you see him, like he's never not working on his craft. It seems like. But I'm happy to see where he goes. There was a Paul Pierce tweet from before. How do you feel? Do you feel Tatum is surpassing KD in any way?
No, and I think you said it perfectly when we were talking earlier. He hasn't won any chips yet. He hasn't played the amount of time that KD has. And I think we spoke about this before, man, the issue of recency. Once you're doing great in the moment, all of a sudden they start to disregard people who've been doing it for years.
Yeah, that's crazy, by the way.
You know what I mean? Like, let's not act like we don't miss playoff LeBron.
Facts.
Right now.
I do. It feels weird watching it without a LeBron game coming on today, tomorrow, the day after.
Yeah, so no. In no way do I think he's surpassing, but he is definitely making his mark, and we'll see how the playoffs go, man. If they go all the way,
conversation book opens up.
Yeah, it opens up.
Yeah, that whole what have you done for me lately? If that boy get to the finals, I'll tell you exactly what he did lately. You know what I mean? But that would be definitely good to see it unfold over the next couple of seasons. But like seeing them in the East go battle it out. It's gonna be the conference is in good hands for the next couple of seasons at a bare minimum.
Oh yeah, man.
A lot of strong teams.
Yeah, if you look at the potential semifinals, right? Because the Sixers still got to figure out if they're going to make it past the Raptors.
Let's not talk about Doc right now.
Right. So you're potentially looking at the Heat. You already got you got the Heat, the Bucks, and the Celtics. You're potentially looking at the Sixers if they can get it together. Mm-hmm. Any of those 4 teams could win a chip.
They're all strong in their own attributes, and they're all scary. Like it's gonna be tough to beat any of those teams 4 times straight.
Right.
But somebody has to lose. It's gonna be a really good series. Rest of the playoffs anyway. I'm sorry. As far a couple of awards were already given out. Marcus Smart won Defensive Player of the Year. I believe he's the first guard since like the glove.
Yep.
To win that. You know what I mean? That's his scrappiness. Not no pun on his last name, but his intelligence as far as the game, like he gets it. He understands his role. He understands what he needs to be, but he's a defensive like power horse. So he's willing to take your star play on night in, night out, and give Tatum a little bit of defensive breathing room for him to perform a little bit more on offense. When everyone knows their role in a system, it's unstoppable, man. But yeah, congrats to Marcus Smart, man. That was a big chip on his little I guess display award case to put in. He's gonna be good in the future for that.
Yeah, and for the Celtics for believing in him, because he's been a valuable trade piece for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, they keep holding on to him. Yeah. I don't know if they gave him a pay increase, but they do keep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, did they? Okay, I was nervous about that. I wasn't sure if they've been paying.
Yeah, he would have left.
Okay,
he would have left.
Fuck it. Mm-hmm. Chip or no chip.
Yeah, nah. He ain't win the play. Listen, if there's no Rudy Gobert, he wins this a while ago. Like it's been the blocks that have hurt him because he's not a blocking guard. He can get a block or two. He's like he took the most charges in the season this year. Like his sense of defense is totally different from a big man. So for him to win it this year was long overdue.
How do you feel about Chris Paul and his Suns? Think they're gonna get back to the finals?
If they get Devin Booker back, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because best season best record in the league this season. So, not that it's a foregone conclusion that they should be there, but when the injuries start and then Paul starts doing things and they start getting in his head and he starts missing the shot that he always makes, it always gets scary. And watching Chris Paul play in the playoffs, I always just hold my breath. I'm like, you never want him to get hurt, but history usually repeats itself when it comes to Chris.
I think the difference this year around is DeAndre Ayton. I think and me and you talked about it. DeAndre looked at that tape and he went to work in the offseason.
Yes.
And I think he can't wait
to get back to that
level. He can't wait to get back there and show a different player because he looked like he was lost out there.
Yeah, and it's funny, like even in his I guess him figuring himself out last year, he was still damn good last year. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hell no. They abused him in that series.
Well, in the finals, at that very last series where they exposed him, yeah. But up until that point, he was a really good contender as far as helping the team get to that point. But once they got to that point, and all the other teams had tape to digest you, they threw the coach book at him. Like, we know how to deal with people like you. Oh man, but he's like you said, he's doing really good. As long as Devin gets back, hopefully they can get back to the mountaintop and hopefully get it. If for Chris, I keep saying this every year, like if Chris don't get it this year, I don't think he's ever gonna get it. But it's like 3 years straight I've been saying it, so we'll see. Hopefully this year is the year. But even if they do get there, they got to get over whoever comes out the East, and I wish them the best of luck with that.
Yep.
Most improved?
Yes, Morant, man, this kid is fucking amazing. You know, it's May 1st, right? But, of course, we're filming before this. He has been tremendous against the Timberwolves. This series has been must-see TV.
Facts.
I honestly, even though the Nets got swept, that was a great series to watch.
It was. Like, most of the games were close, you know, other than the last two. But they were good competitive games. It's just the fourth quarter kept slipping away from them.
But you're watching the next generation. You're watching Anthony Edwards and Morant go at it, but then you're watching some other players on the Grizzlies that they're stepping up. Like they feel like they can do something this year, and they did pretty good last year.
Yeah.
But Anthony Edwards, man, I'm gonna say the same thing they said about KG. He's got to get out of Minnesota. I know this is only like his second or third season, but he's got to get out of Minnesota. It has shown a history of not being good for young new talent. Look at Cat.
Hey, they're here. Like, you know what I mean? He caught a couple of all-star, attributes, but they're there, and a lot of it is on his back. So I can't say it doesn't help him because he's the team, he's the mold. You know what I mean? Like, if they get out this series, then we got something to talk about. Because right now at the moment when we're recording it down one, but if they can tie it up and get to a game 7, you might have to revisit the whole Minnesota thing, man. You might have to. You might have
listen,
to.
If Anthony Edwards' agent gets a hold of this show, get your man out of there. I'm telling you, get him out of there. That franchise has done nothing. It's paid people. Don't get me wrong. And it seems like a very loyal fan base and a loyal organization. But for some reason, it's like can't get right. No, like they one year they drafted 2 guards in I think like either in back-to-back drafts or in a couple of picks. It was I think Robert Flynn or Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio. And I know one of the teams in the draft were pissed. Like, why would you take 2 guards? You're going to trade one of them eventually, and that's exactly what happened.
And it wasn't, I don't think they even got anything good for it. It just, I don't know. Is it the general management? Is that what it is? Because it changes every few years over there. It's not as if it's the same guy making the same fucked up mistakes.
Yo, bro. I'm at a loss for words for how they handle stuff over there. It is a good series to watch because you're watching the young talent, but the Grizzlies, they just look hungry. I'll be surprised if the Timberwolves make it out of that series.
We shall see. We shall see. But yeah, it's been a good playoff so far. Like you said, it feels funny now, officially with no KD and Bron at this point. But hey, man, it's time for the new guard to take place and do what they got to do as always, and watch the next guy step up. Yep. Over quickly for the NFL though. This is a little disheartening. Deebo Samuel out of the 49ers. Breakout year. Was the go-to guy for a rushing attempt, for a catch, for we need this first down. He was the guy. Always able to make it happen. But for some reason, he asked for a trade.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a money issue, if it's a culture issue, if it's a I'm just not happy issue, or him approaching that last year of the contract. He was on the rookie, the rookie contract. It's not the highest of the high, but, it's not super, super low.
Yeah.
But when you overperform or outplay a contract, the need for immediate financial gratification from these young stars in any sport, NFL or NBA, it's kind of got to stop, man. I understand, I had a really good season last season, yes, but you signed a contract, and we need you to come and play out that contract to the best of your ability. Yes, your best was better than the rest of the leagues this time around, but we're not going to forget this season. You know what I mean? But we'll pay you when the contract is up. Or, do you want an extension right now? You know what I'm saying? But those, the Ben Simmons / Deebo's of I did really, really good. Where's my money right now? It's that's not how this works. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate you putting up your end. And on the players' end, they're just nervous because it's if I have this one breakout year, then bust my ankle up week 2 of the season. It's if I miss 8 games, it's going to be hard for me to bring up the old highlight tapes when it's renegotiation time. You know what I mean? So I get their point for trying to strive or trying to strike when the iron's hot. But from a business standpoint, even as a boss or an employer, if I signed you for this amount of money to perform and you're performing and we agreed on this, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You got they always got the point, the opportunity to do the old Ricky Williams contract to pay. Ricky was weird. He wanted a reverse kind of contract where they paid him only when he did good or some shit like that. And this was, this was in the middle of his weed situation. So I don't think a lot of his decisions were clearly thought out. But I hope nobody ever does what he did. But I don't know.
With Deebo, all I've heard was that he requested a trade, right? And, I think the way the media puts stuff out, we jump on it, we grab at it. I haven't seen him post or have any type of audio about, I want out, right? It was just
hearsay.
Big highlight, Deebo requested trade, and then somebody said he removed all the 49ers logos and stuff off his social media. I didn't go to double check that because, that's not what I do. But for me personally, I can see a conversation with him and the powers that be about something, to your point, money or the culture, whatever, and them disagreeing, and then him saying, okay, well, then I want to be traded, and then some idiot looking for a check that knows this run into the media and say, yo, Deebo wants out, right? Now, granted, there's the video of him in the club when they talking about he's staying, he nah. So that kind of solidifies it, but still.
Yeah, that's never a good look at the club.
Yeah, so I'm always leery of where the information comes from. But to your point, man, it could be a plethora of things. And the comfort of players to make decisions, I mean, I respect the fact of where it came from to the point where the owners regulated everything. But you do have a point where it's okay, we are paying you to play. You do have this last season. Why can't you just at least play while we try to work this out? The catch-22. You listed everything greatly, so I'm not going to repeat it. I guess the one thing I can add is when they get back to the bargaining table, and same with the NBA with the Ben Simmons issue, when they get to the bargaining table, these owners are going to use this as ammunition.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing with Ben Simmons, same thing with all the load management. And Stephen A. talked about this with the pay for play. They're going to start to get to these players and say, hey, we've been trending, we've been monitoring, and this is the data we have on how much load management that you do. And I'm telling you, like I told you earlier, they're going to hit them where it hurts, where the TV money. Because that's where it matters. The TV money, you can't play when we on TNT, when we on NBA TV, or any mainstream. We going to hit you on that. There's going to be a tax.
I can't tell you how many games I tuned into over the season where I'm oh, such and such is playing.
Exactly.
Going but such and such isn't playing.
Exactly.
And you're just not interested in the game anymore as you once was when you first went to it. And, you know, whether it be load management, whether, we're going to sit this one out, play 2 games straight, 40 minutes. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. I just feel bad for the guy that paid $3,000 for the front row seat with his kid just to be like, you want to see, you want to see LeBron this game? And LeBron's like, I played 4, really hard games back to back to back, and I can't do this one. And I get it. LeBron's in like years damn near 18. So it's like some people are afforded that luxury because he never misses a game. But for the others that are kind of taking advantage of it, they're going to nip that in the butt real fast soon.
And I think it's fair, right? Listen, I'm very rarely rooting for the owners or siding with the owners, I should say. But think about it, guys. When you guys finally get stake in a club and the main player for your team is on load management, would you still want to pay him heavy money for that? No, there should be a tax on that.
Big taxes.
You know what I mean? There should be a tax on that. If it's load management, there's nothing against it. If you feel like you need it, if you feel like it's for the team, cool. But why should I pay you if you're not showing up for the game?
Correct. If you're injured, hey, we get it. It's an unfortunate part of the game.
Yep.
But if your back's a little sore, or you jammed your pinky, like I need you to put some tape on that, boss.
Yeah.
I don't need you to get in this game, man. Yeah. It's the fourth quarter, bro.
Yeah, because let's not act like you not going to your Gatorade appearance, your Old Spice appearance. You're going to all of those. You're just not playing at the game. So it's not like I'm killing your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
So
you what you were saying earlier, like that you're going to each and every practice.
Yep.
But you just refuse to, wear the game uniform when it's time. Like, There's no wins there. There's no wins there.
Not at all, man.
But on to one of our favorite players who have moved on from the field, Mr. Marshawn Lynch. It's funny. It feels like I see him more on the television, post playing than before, and he seems a lot happier.
Yeah.
Could be because of the amount of weed he's taking in now, but he just seems a lot happier. He recently obtained a stake in Seattle Kraken. I don't speak hockey, people. Please don't shoot me for this.
Neither one of us do.
But it was him and another Seattle. Was it Macklemore?
Could be.
I want to say Macklemore. It was, I believe, Marshawn and Macklemore who were able to get like a minority stake in the hockey team, and I believe Marshawn's take on it was trying to bring more awareness and also people of color into the game of hockey.
Right.
Because it's a sport that us folk don't really gravitate to. Could be the limited resources of ice hockey availability all year long.
That's exactly what it is.
You know what I mean?
Could be
outside of Central Park. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only ice ring I really know. And Prospect. That's the only ice rings I know about.
Name it, bro. Name it. It's not could be. Flatbush, Brooklyn ain't nowhere I know where I could go ice skating and play hockey at that.
Ice and Flatbush is on next.
Yeah.
And you got to watch it back.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah, but shouts to Marshawn. Keep doing your endeavors post-career, man. We like you happy. Keep doing your commercials.
And it's full circle because you remember that infamous press conference where he was like, stack your chicken. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you play, you take care of your body, you take care of yourself, but you take care of your chicken. And he's living that with the NFTs, with the weed, and now with this. The brother he's living the example, and it's beautiful to see, man.
Yeah, I like Marshawn, man. He's gonna keep doing it. Big fan. 100%. Where we at? Oh.
So we gonna get into the question section, guys. First of all, shout out to everybody who's been attending the Instagram lives, man.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Yes, man. Right now, one of them, the latest one we did about fake orgasms is doing really good on TikTok. A lot of good views, a lot of good comments. So please feel free, man. Keep checking us out. Follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. The merch. Or if you're listening to us on the audio, thank you again. So I'm going to kick this one off, brother, because I saw a show on this. You guys know how I am, right? Should time and distance have an impact on the value of a friendship?
I hate to ride the fence on this one, but it's really a 50-50 depending on the people involved. Because it's funny, like one of my best friends, he was in the wedding as far as, T.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to Arizona. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's been gone for maybe like 3 years. Anytime we see each other, it's like we just saw each other yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk every day. We just because everybody gets older, you're busy, you just don't have the time. But whenever we do happen to catch up, we're on the phone for like an hour and a half, and the distance in conjunction with the amount of time we don't talk, I don't think the relationship is strained at all. Like it's weird. Like, but I have other friends as well, grew up with, and everything worked out fine. Where we kind of just went our separate ways, and we went our separate ways. There was no reason to reach out. There was no reason to catch up. There's nothing changing in their life enough for me to care about them, and vice versa on my end, I guess, for them. Yeah. So it's really a 50-50. It really depends on the connection you had. If there was never no bad blood, because that always hurts. But if I had to make a choice, though, I'm going to say no. I don't think time and distance should impact the value of a friendship. Let's go to friendship.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll use an analogy from when I volunteered at Father's Heart Ministry last Saturday. She said that she pulled out $100 bill, and she said that if this $100 bill was stepped on or crumpled or whatever, would you still want it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I could still walk in the store and I could still use this, right? To me, if a strong relationship exists in your friendship, like you said, then the value never changes.
Correct.
And then, of course, if you go through anything, it's like, what did we go through? How were we tested? Because if we can get through that, if it's something we can get over, then that just makes the relationship stronger. So the time and distance does nothing to the value of our friendship. We can still, like you said, chop it up forever. It's like we never left each other. So, yeah, I agree.
That's crazy. What is bothersome is when time and distance do impact that value.
Yeah,
because now it's like it's a weird thing. It's like we had this close knit situation. A or B might have happened, and now it's like a strained thing where it's almost not talked about. It's just like now you're kind of reflecting on the existing relationship you had prior to the change.
Yeah,
like was any of that real? Like what I'm saying? It's scary.
Yeah, and a lot of it is perception. You know what I mean? But, of course, this is another lovely one we'll take to the live.
Got to. Gotta bring us to live. Gotta get some feedback on this, see everybody's opinion on it.
Yes.
But here's another one. Talk to me.
So, of course, guys, once again, watching a lot of shows, man. Been binging a lot with the wife lately. Coming off of the kids' spring break. That's all we did. So, if someone researched you in order to make the dating experience dope, is that considered false representation on their part?
Depends on if the intel is discovered abruptly. Like if it's like you didn't steal the candy bar until the cashier at night realizes like, hey, this is a 48 pack. It's only 47 here. What the fuck happened? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But hey, if the day comes and goes, next day comes and goes, and you're like, oh wow, it's only 20 bars left. Whatever. That's one thing. But I think that person should take it as that person being interest in whatever we got going on or potentially could got going on. A little scary though, the fact that you have the ability to research someone that's not famous. You know what I'm saying? Like you go look up, Jay-Z and see a lot of his life, but looking up Sean and figuring out Sean and everything that he's doing is like it's a lot.
Listen, that's not motivation to do that, people. Please don't.
Please don't bother this man.
So married.
Please don't bother this man. You know what I mean? But like, it's a little scary that someone can deep dive into your life virtually.
Yeah,
just because social media, just news clippings. If you just
Google
have a life,
is real.
Google's a real place. Well, like I said, it all depends on how that information is given back to the one that was being researched on.
Right.
If they never find out, no harm, no foul. But it's like the longer the time goes, and if they happen to find out at a later junction, this whole relationship seems fake. It seems orchestrated now at this point. It's like a big Hollywood movie for you now. You wrote a whole script, and now you're just filling shit in based on my outcomes or opinions. That's spooky.
I think the fact that someone would take that much time is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Forgive me for being like really hype about someone being hyped to learn about me and apply it to them so they can give me the best experience.
Mm-hmm.
The one fear I have is if everything in the relationship's been about what I like and I want, then that means it is false representation because you did not bring one thing about you
To this
into
table.
this. That means that I never met you. I just met a reflection of me
We're still
that
talking
you
about
made
me,
up.
Yeah, that's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it.
All right. Another one we got to bring to the live.
Oh
man.
yeah,
we gotta
we
entertain
got a lot
this.
in the tuck lately, people.
Yeah, man. Here's my next one. Almost piggybacking off the question before this one. If a loved one, whether it be family or friend, that you guys happen to have a disagreement with, came to your doorstep with luggage in hand, do you let them in or do you slam the door?
Let them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You let them stay on the couch and all that.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's nice, man. Because I'm petty. Man, I hate that I am, but I am, unfortunately. If we had like a wild disagreement and it just never got resolved, it's just always been a floating thing, and we both agreed to disagree to not fuck with each other no more, and then you unfortunately, have a bad moment and you end up on this door with that suitcase.
Yeah.
I might slam the door, but I'm on the side where you are. You know what I mean? Just so we can talk about whatever this is when you come into the space that I'm at. You know what I mean? Because we gotta get through whatever that was. We just can't. Come on in. I got some food going. Like it can't just be friendly because you are here. Like you know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, I'm leaning towards a slam. I'm leaning towards a slam.
I'm letting them in because in the general sense of the question, I'm not gonna close the door on you because I'm seeing you there at the door with the luggage. Clearly, you in a situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, of course, if we want to get specific, I would have questions and how long are you staying, bro? Like. At the end of the day,
are those questions happening inside your place or right outside your door?
Right at the door. I won't slam the door, but at the door.
Yeah, you just put the chain on. So, what's with the luggage, bro?
Yeah, like and then it depends on the family and friend relationship, right? Like, if I know you got a bad history or shit, then I'll probably give you like the night, and then in the morning you gotta figure shit out. You know what I'm saying? But me and you, cool beans, man. Yo, you straight until you got somewhere to go.
If you're cool,
yeah.
My door's forever your door. You know what I'm saying? But if there was ever a harsh disagreement or something that escalated to a point where we couldn't resolve it amicably, and then next time I see you is this. Hope it ain't raining outside, bro.
Yeah.
I really hope it ain't raining.
That's a fact.
Oh man. This was the next one I had. In the field with architecture and construction, there's usually 2 of 3 things that you can have on a job for it to run its course, whether it be quality, speed, or like the amount of money you spend. For example, if you want like a high quality project, but you also want it done super quick, best believe you're going to be paying an obscene amount of money in order for both of those things to take place. And with those 3, they're all interchangeable. If you do 2, the third one's usually going to fall by the wayside or not work in your favor. And I'm curious to know, is that something a man or woman experiences in life where they only can have 2 of the 3 or 3 of the 4 when it comes to like money or soulmate or family or health? Like, because in my head I'm trying to think if I know anyone with like all the above, and I don't. Like they usually got 1 without the other or 2 without the other.
Yeah.
Is there a combo that you have for yourself as far as money, soulmate, family, health, or anything else that would like contribute to the person that you are today?
So ideally, the characteristics I would look for is money management, caring, and faith in God.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If those 3 things are at the core of you, we gonna make it.
Okay. I respect it.
Yeah, everything else, health, I can't control, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people lose their soulmate at a young age and had to like pick themselves up and try and love again. So I think money management, because this world unfortunately does not care about how good of a person you are. You got to have some change to your name. And then you got to care about a motherfucker. You know, like at the end of the day, I'm not going to look this way all the time. I may have, God forbid, something happen to me and I'm not the same person. Are you still going to be around? And then faith in God, man, like that's just something that got to be at the core of you, because you got to rely on something to get you through those rough moments where ain't shit clicking and you're like, yo, Lord, give me a sign.
What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Okay. I respect it. Me personally, I guess even as a kid, like my mother would ask, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd be like, happy. She'd be like, shit. And she looking like, nigga, that is not what I'm asking you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, but it's still something I'm looking to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So I was very literal as a kid, unfortunately. I'm still literal as an adult. But happiness is just something that kind of overruled everything. Like the money will come and go. The soulmate might be great. Family is always awesome. Health always above and beyond if you can have it. But me at the end of the day, it was always just being happy. Making sure you were happy, because no matter what you do, if you're not, everything else is going to be miserable.
Facts.
Like, you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, it don't matter. You can have your soulmate, but if for whatever reason you like nitpick at the littlest things, like, then it's useless to have a fucking soulmate. If you're gonna find like, they always leave the toilet seat up, nigga, and everything else is perfect. It's what you know what I mean. Like, if this is the one thing you're worried about, then if you're not happy with, if you're looking for something, like, it's not gonna work out. But I'm gonna just stick with happiness, because everything else after happy, I feel, just kind of rolls into play. As far as money, soulmate, health, all that other shit, you gotta be happy first with yourself first and foremost, and then once you're happy with yourself, you can roll that out into other things and phases of your life. But you gotta be happy, man. Number one. So anyone, if you had a long planned trip with your partner, for whatever reason they were unable to attend at the last minute, are you still going on that trip
with somebody else? Yeah.
Ooh, that was spicy.
You said partner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Are we married? Like, you know what I'm saying?
It was your partner enough for you to
plan the trip.
Plan and pay.
Yeah, somebody else go. Somebody else go. So, like,
you said respectfully.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it especially if I planned it, more than likely it's dope. And if you can't go and these refunds ain't looking like a thing, these credits ain't looking like something I want to deal with. Yeah, somebody else coming, man.
Yeah. I hear you. I was more so like, if you're on a plane with somebody, like, oh, I guess I'm gonna run to Starbucks real quick. Like, all right, you get on the plane, you just wait for them to come on, they never come on. It's like you keep looking down the aisle, like, it should be here any minute. You know what I mean? Say, hey,
that's super. You're talking about stood you up. That didn't even.
Oh no, you're both there.
Yeah. Oh.
You just, they just like, oh, I'm gonna just go do something real quick. I'll be right back. Like, all right.
Oh shit.
Like, did you get off the plane? Do you let the door close and you just take off? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's. I don't even know what to say to that. I wouldn't even know how to handle that. Yeah, that's like some real, like, you must be an undercover spy or something.
Yeah, so
that's some shit like
disappear the airplane, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. But I might go on that trip though. I might go solo though. I don't think I might just have to go solo. It is what it is. This last question I had here was for my people who are fortunate enough to work from home remotely. I'm curious to know. It's year 3 now as far as pandemic for the most part. Remote probably been in full swing 2.5 years, after they figured out how to do it. You know what I'm saying? People usually get like 20, 30, sometimes even 40 PTO days a year. Working from home now, like, how's the call? Like, once you call, text, email, like, hey, I don't feel good. You already know I'm not coming in because I'm working remote. but I don't even got the power to log on. So, like, how are the PTO days looking these days? Are they still up? Are they down? Are you still balancing out?
People actually still request PTO. Sometimes you really don't want to wake up.
Okay.
It can be like that. The funny thing I hear about is when people call in late. That shit.
How you do that?
That shit right there is the funniest shit in the world. Like, oh shit, I rolled over, and then I rolled back over, and then by the time I woke up again, I'm like 20 minutes late. That to me is hilarious.
That's funny.
But no, PTO days are still being used, bro. Sometimes you just, there's times I don't want to look at my laptop. Like, it's being used, man. Not as much depending on your time management and of course your role at your employment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna jump over to the entertainment section real quick. Push, man. Like, for those that haven't heard this album yet, Pusha T is Almost Dry, man. Me personally, like, I don't know why, I'm a huge fan of coke rap. It's like I can't get enough of it. Like when Jeezy dropped, all of that, like I can't get enough of it. Like I don't know why. Like I never sold drugs in my life. Like you know what I'm saying. I can't get enough of it. It's very his voice tone alone is so exciting. Yeah. Like you know what I'm saying. Like you feel like you're Tony Montana after his album. Every album he does, and you feel like I could move these keys. Just call me Franklin Sing. I could do like every time you hear his bodies of work, like his niche to bring the finer parts of the game out and just pick and pull the grimy and sprinkle it on top of the fancy. Yeah, top notch shit, man. But he put together another good solid piece of work.
Yeah, on the latest episode of The Shop, LeBron talks about that with Rick Ross. Some rappers have the ability to take you to a place when they rapping. Yeah. Like you can see when Pusha's telling this chick, yo, it's not fucking Lanvin, it's Lanvin. Like, what's wrong with you?
I didn't know it till you told me.
Yeah. Like,
I've been saying it wrong for
years. Me too. I'll be honest with you all. I've been saying Lanvin to my wife for the longest. I'm glad I didn't say it to my rich friends out there. But listen, that is his art. That is something. And that's what made him going at Drake so fair because they both paint pictures so totally differently. Like Drake is great, he's awesome, phenomenal, but he is yet to take me somewhere with his music. The feel of it, I feel a way, but he don't take me to a place. I don't see, the Nikes on the pavement. You know what I'm saying? You know, Rick Ross will tell you, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the I-95. Here, he put you know there. What I'm saying? Wind blowing through my bald head. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He put you there. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like that shit. Like when he made diced pineapples, it made you want to go buy pineapples and dice them.
But Rick Ross, he has that ability as well to put you in this place.
So Push does that, like you said, with Coke. Same thing with Jeezy. Jeezy just has that presence when he talks about it. And especially if it's something you never done.
It's very interesting to hear and see because honestly you have an outside point of view from it. Right. Like it was something Pusha said on an interview I saw not so long ago. Very similar to how everyone's interested in mobster movies. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just something you're not involved in, but you're super interested in it. So you keep watching it, and then you kind of get sucked into it, and then now you're part of the mob. That's for that 90-minute movie. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but you can shut it off and go about your day. But here's my question to you for the album. He was able to lock down just two producers, that being Pharrell and Kanye. Split it right down the middle. First half was Rel, last half was Jay. Who do you think won the production battle?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If you said the first half was Pharrell?
I think the first half was Pharrell.
I think Pharrell won.
Pharrell won?
Because I think in that top half is Rock and Roll. No, that's Ye, right?
Yes, Ray.
That is Ye. Just So You Remember, that's Pharrell? That's Ye too?
I think that's all on the Ye side.
I'm like, damn, man, do I have it flipped? Because Just So You Remember.
Just So You Remember is right after Neck and Wrist. That's the first half.
Yeah.
That's Rel.
Just So You Remember's up there. Rock and Roll is dope. So I know that was Ye. What's the other one I like on there?
Like, there's not a song I didn't like.
Oh my
There's nothing on here. There's nothing on here I did not like. Brambleton, Let the Smokers Shine.
Yeah, Brambleton. It's funny. The first time I heard Brambleton, I wasn't into it.
Mm-hmm.
Second time around, I guess I gave the whole album a listen and got a feel for it, and I loved it.
Yeah, man.
The second time
fan.
around,
I know I might be lying. I don't think it's fully dedicated first half / second half. He mixed them up because he has Dream of the Past in the beginning, and that was Ye.
Yeah. Dreaming of the Past. What was the other one I like? Scrape It Off.
Yeah,
that shit was hard. So yeah, like the album got so much, man. It got so
really
like,
good.
and it was really cool for me because I've never been able to really enjoy a full Pusha T album.
No, what?
Yeah, I don't know what. Like for me, my taste at the time he made his last joint, I couldn't like. I wasn't feeling the whole joint. Yeah, I know, man. I know, but this one, I don't know if it's just. I haven't heard.
It's all about timing.
Yeah, exactly. This one, it was just like
everything worked out.
Everything was hitting, and in the bars, it was necessary.
Yeah, man. And then you heard Mouse at the end. I was like, oh, yeah. I love like when they both catch up to each other and they both spit their shit, boy. Yeah. I hope they do one more. I hope they do. I think squeeze. I hope we could squeeze a couple more verses out of him for a bullshit Clips EP. I'll take it.
Yeah,
give it to me. But yeah, man. Push. I believe he's also going on tour. He'll be out in New York, I think the middle of June. So, yeah, man, it's almost dry. If you haven't heard it, please go hear that. Good shit.
Man.
A couple other albums. Future dropped the other day. I didn't get a chance to hear that yet. Drake, Ye, Future, Kodak. He keeps the big features on there. Kendrick also announced an album coming out called Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I don't even know what to expect from this album. Like Kendrick gives you a new version of him every time you hear him. Yeah. But super interested to hear. I like the way he announced it though. It was like the MJ 4-5 back kind of letter where he said, you guys thought I was quitting, but it's me. I'm back. You know what I mean? So his that drop should be good. And Jack Harlow and Post Malone. The two white guys at the end, Jack Harlow. Really, Jack, he really is shaping into his own to be like a rookie of the year kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, Post Malone, like, I don't know what he's considered as far as an artist, but every song he does, I end up fucking loving it. So I got nothing. Like, I still sing that Spider-Man song for no reason. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just has an ability to catch a tone, a tune, a beat.
He's an artist.
Yeah, he's a full-time artist, and I'm a big fan of his too. So I'm looking up his 12-carat toothache. That sounds expensive pain. Yep. But we're going to see. I'll see who else is coming out for the spring, summer that I'm looking for. That might be it, man. Outside of Kendrick, I got the Pusha ready. And it was dope because the Benny rolled right into the push as far as my Coke raps. It was right on time. I was just getting tired of the Benny album and push drop.
I think Ross is trying to drop something for the end of the year. And I feel like we need another Jeezy sometime soon. I know he fresh off the new baby and the new wife.
I don't want to say it out loud, but I think he's retired and he hasn't announced it.
We'll see, man. If Ross drops something, if this Coke talk keep coming out, Jeezy gonna drop something. Because right now, between Gucci, Rick Ross, and now with like he's a big fan of real like rappers that are dope dropping music, and I think at some point he's gonna be like, let me fuck around, get in the studio, see if I still got it.
Get this brush this Coke off. See if I still got it in me. Hold on, we have something over here. We had a couple of things in our quick minute news segment that we want to
get ready. Let me get it ready.
Get your clocks out. Get your clocks out.
All right, my brother, you are set. Go.
Meg Thee Stallion did an interview with Gayle King indicating the whole Tory thing. I didn't get a chance to watch it. If you did, let us know about it because 50 just made fun of it, and I don't want to be that guy yet. So let us know how that went. T.I., he interrupted a comedy show out in Atlanta because the comedian was telling jokes about his past allegations, and T.I. stood up quickly and let him know that shit ain't funny. And that happened right after the Will Smith situation. So people are getting confident stepping to people on stages. That's not cool. They happened to find Mac Miller's dealer who sold that deadly amount of fentanyl in his pills, and he got sentenced to 11 years. He's going to be gone. Don't know how they tracked him down, but they got him. the feds got ASAP Rocky off a private jet with Rihanna, a pregnant Rihanna, locked him up, but he was out. His baby mom was a billionaire, and Chris Brown and Lil Baby are going on tour this summer, and that's a fucking cheat code.
Hell yeah.
They'll be in New York City in the middle of July. I hope I can afford tickets to that, but if I could, I'll be there. And that's your FCP minute, people.
My man, right on time.
You heard the alarm. We out here. We getting it done. If you want to talk about any of them other items, hit us up on one of the socials.
You know it. So we swinging over to movies and TV shows, guys. Listen, we know when you're not listening to music, when you're not listening to us, you're watching something on television, right? I know y'all like the plug. Anyway, so we're gonna just 2 quick recommendations: Anatomy of Scandal and The Stranger. I got more shows coming as far as recommendations. If you follow me or you follow Freedom Cage Podcast, always posting great stuff for you to go watch. But check out those 2 shows. Really, really good. But we're first going to get into Batman. What'd you think of Batman, brother? The new Batman.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a big Batman fan as far as, the rich orphan that grew up, just started fighting crime in this New York lookalike city, and they just call it Gotham. But this last one with the guy from Twilight, it's a little too dark for me, man. Like, the way he was just like, I'm vengeance. All damn movie, I was just like... I couldn't get jiggy with it, man. It was,
really?
Yeah, I don't know where the series is gonna take it, but I'll watch it just because it is Batman. Period. But I can't full-heartedly say I enjoyed the movie though. Did you like it?
I gave it like a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Because I felt like the fight scenes were dope.
Yes.
I felt like that darkness, gave me that chill feeling, and I like that part of it, right? It wasn't too damn all over the place. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I thought Robert Pattinson did a pretty good job, man. I was worried, man. Christian Bale, that was hard to follow. That was hard to follow. Very hard to follow. So we saw what happened when people tried to come after Michael Keaton. It was terrible. Like, you know what I mean? You had Val Kilmer and George Clooney, and George Clooney very rarely misses. So that was crazy.
He's not a big action. He's not a big action guy.
Yeah, man. But I gave it a 6 out of 10. Anxious to see what they're gonna do. I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys as far as how it ends, but I'm anxious to see how it's gonna do. But I liked the plot twists. The script could have been a lot better. There were a lot of dull moments where I just felt like I was there. Like, all right,
now what?
When are we gonna get past this? So yeah, 6 out of 10.
All right, 6 out of 10. All right. Yeah. Just like it was, like you were just saying before, like it's like it dragged at times.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's Batman. Like it was always meant to be, the darkness, so to speak. But it's weird. That follow up from the whole Christian Bale, Bane, Joker thing. It's rough finding bad guys that's gonna stand up to that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we'll see.
So now this next show, brother, I don't know if you've seen it yet. It is called The Ultimatum on Netflix.
Now, I have not seen that yet, but I'm curious.
Yeah, so Nick Lachey and his wife, and I apologize, I forgot her name, but they already have a show called Love at First Sight. And basically these people are in pods talking to people, but they can't see each other. Okay. And then they have to propose to each other to then finally see each other. Yeah, so they did a spin-off from that, okay, that's Love at First Sight, and then you get married. What if you've asked your partner to get married and they can't give you an answer? They come on this show, and basically it's the people who gave the ultimatum and who received it. And what happens is they swap for 3 weeks. So it'll be whoever gave the ultimatum will date somebody else, so on and so forth, all the couples.
They match up ultimatum givers and receivers, or they switch them up?
No, they match them up.
Okay.
Yep. So now, and no, actually, you can pick who you want to date.
Copy.
You can pick who you want to date. So now you get to live with this person for 3 weeks. Now, mind you,
no rules.
Whatever rules you want, you living with them because technically you're married.
Yeah,
you're living together for 3 weeks and you're married, right? So the object of the experiment is for people to understand what it's like to cohabitate with someone and marry under the
marriage guide.
Exactly. So now they go through these first 3 weeks, right? Now, wild shit happens during the show, right? Anybody who's seen it, I think this is another one we're going to have to take to the live too. But anybody who sees it knows it's crazy because you're still interacting with the other people.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll meet with the guys, and one of those guys is dating your girl. More than likely, they probably done something. They probably feeling each other.
That's spicy.
And you sitting across from someone trying to tell you, yo, I think things ain't working out with your girl because you do this. Can you imagine as a man?
Like, how you know? She told me, bro.
Yeah. And then they start telling you, because, bro, let me tell you something. That girl, she's this and she's that. And if I had her, and you got to sit there and eat it.
He said security is all over this place.
You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, there's some intense moments, but and then the same thing on the girl side. You know what I mean? So after the 3 weeks now, you go back to the person you came with, and now y'all live together for 3 weeks. And then at the end of everything, the point is, will you go, leave with the person that you came with, or will you leave with the person you was living with for 3 weeks?
First time.
Or possibly just say, listen, I'm not ready for nothing, but hey, we can still connect.
Wow. I'm gonna have to tune in on this one. That's scary.
That shit wild, bro.
He said wild. Okay. All right. Ultimatum. Like, I gotta see that one.
Yeah, when
Netflix? Okay.
And when we do the live, of course, it's gonna be a spoiler alert because we're gonna actually talk about what happened on the show.
Okay.
That shit is nuts.
Now I gotta tune in. Okay.
Yeah, man.
What's this other one? Anatomy of a Scandal?
Oh yeah. So those are the other two shows on Netflix: Anatomy of Scandal and The Stranger. Anatomy of Scandal, just to give you the synopsis, basically a wife starts to find out a lot about her husband and his situations, and it starts to turn into some really crazy shit, man. Like, it has an amazing plot twist. And then The Stranger, basically this chick is just blowing up people's secrets and causing them to do shit, and it has a crazy ending as well.
The last show, those shows or
shows?
Okay,
yeah, there was a series. Yep.
Okay. Oh, there was one show. I forgot to put it up, but I'm still a Marvel fan. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how old I get. But Disney introduced a new show called Moon Knight.
Yeah.
I started to get into that. Pretty interesting. They was taking a crazy twist the last few episodes, but I'm 3 episodes in, so I got. Now I got it. Now I have to finish this out.
Yeah.
So, but it's pretty interesting so far. If you're into the Marvel and all that kind of superhero bullshit, like it's a pretty good show for you. One thing I did watch earlier this month and I truly enjoyed it was Jerrod Carmichael. He's a comedian. He's already had a few shows that I already loved back then when he did it, but this new one that he did, brilliantly crafted. The way he set it up, the way he introduced it, the way he flowed through the show, really, really, really put together well. If you don't know of him, I suggest you watch his first couple shows first. Try to learn the man before you get to the last show. But really, really good. I'm happy how he did it. I'm happy the way it is. I'm happy the way it ended up. But if you haven't seen it, please go catch that. Really good special he did.
Yes.
Was there any other shows I could think about? Yeah, outside it's just in playoffs, man.
Yep.
What do we have here?
Yeah, so quick dive into politics and business, man. Unless you're living under a rock, you've heard that Elon Musk has acquired Twitter to the tune of $44 billion. My man could have solved world hunger twice and still had more money. Yeah. But he decided to take over the bird, a.k.a. Twitter.
Like that's so much money. I didn't even know it's for sale.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it wasn't. I think the minute you never know you can sell something until somebody puts a price on it.
It's a fact.
You know what I mean? And I doubt anybody, like even Jack Dorsey, I don't know if it's like sometimes they share tweets and if the person actually wrote it. But you never know if Jack Dorsey ever thought of selling Twitter.
He probably didn't think anyone could afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's no. I don't think he had like a cap value or a number that this is worth because it grows every day. But yeah, $44 billion sounded about right. He said, yeah, we could let this go for that. I'm okay. Yeah. I'm all for that. But I'm curious to know because Elon is very big on freedom of speech. So I'm curious to know how this changes the dynamic or the landscape for Twitter going forward. Whenever. Right. he does truly start walking into these boardrooms and start indicating or directing change for the company. I'm here for it. I'm a big fan of Twitter as far as, just it's your news feed in your hand all day long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For me personally, and I pray that if we ever make it with this podcast thing, that I never not have the chance to interact with people. Because the one thing that I will never understand for me is the lack of engagement from people on Twitter. They will write what they want to write, but then if you engage with them, it's like, I didn't write this to engage with you. I just wanted to share a thought.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So for me, I've actually kind of died away from Twitter unless I'm super bored. So to your point, it's going to be interesting to see if he changed the dynamic. Like, I know they added Twitter Spaces to engage more, social interaction, but they got to call you up like how it was with Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And if they don't call you up, then you're kind of just like sitting and listening to people talk. I listen to ESPN all day.
Yeah.
I watch the news. I listen to people talk all day. If I have the chance to actually talk, that's what I'm looking for. And I think that the next forum that makes that more interactive is going to be more successful.
I'm trying to troubleshoot quickly on the fly. How would you develop, create, or almost manifest that kind of platform where you can guarantee someone is going to engage in a certain topic? I mean, there's no way of signing on for that, but if so, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a paid subscription.
I think it's incentivizing the interaction. If you post and then you have people commenting, but you don't engage in the comments, then to me, you know what I mean, your post shouldn't even make the algorithm. Now, if people are engaging in it,
that's one thing.
Then that's one thing. But if you just post in the post and you get and people comment and you can't comment back, shit.
Yeah, that's useless.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I think instead of the people engaging and that rising to the top, the person who posted engaging should supersede the ones where everybody else is talking to each other.
Facts. All right. And Elon, he's a quirky character. Like I think his first tweet after the news truly broke was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy Coca-Cola and put the Coke back in it."
Or this just came in my mind: if someone who comments on your post gets the most engagement, they now take over ownership of the post.
Oh, that's cool.
You know what I mean? Because hey, listen, you had a great thought. They made it a great conversation.
You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
You see where I was going with it.
I see the vision. We here. FCP. We here. Yeah, that'd be dope. It would be nice to ask my permission. Like, hey, as you can see, the traction that I'm building on this is way better than yours. Like, can you just hit the OK button and transfer the rights, and we'll just put care of at the end of this tweet for you, so they at least know where it originated from. But let them know why we here. It's because of me.
Right.
Oh man, that'd be wild. That would be wild.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Kenatji, man, she's in.
Yes, man. So last episode, as you know, we were highlighting autism and two moms' journeys. We didn't get to send the real congratulations, the real just, Kenatji B. Jackson officially confirmed into the Supreme Court. She had a whole press conference on the White House lawn. It was Kamala Harris and Kenatji Jackson and then Joe Biden in the middle. And I almost felt like there should have been a meme that...
Oreo?
Nah. I've almost felt like there should have been a meme that at some point in our lives, it'll be all three ladies.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting there.
The near future.
Yeah, it's getting there. But I was at the gym, man, and I'm watching them standing there, and I'm like, yo, man, soon, man. Real soon.
Very soon. Definitely
it's going to be all three ladies there.
Definitely within our kids' generation. They'll see it. They definitely will see it in their time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, shout out to Kenatji, though, man. For real.
And weird news, I didn't know this was still taking place in 2022 as far as country to country, as far as this is going. But But Russia recently released a former U.S. Marine by the name of Trevor Reed in a prisoner exchange for someone here in the United States. He was traded for a I'm gonna botch his name up, but his name was Konstantin Yaroshenko. He was a Russian pilot who was jailed in the United States for a little over a decade, but he was convicted on drug smuggling charges. I bring this up out of fear, honestly, because I didn't know prisoner swaps are still a thing from country to country, but if it took the U.S. slash Russia to if it took them this long to release a former U.S. Marine who was in prison for 2 years already, and they had him on, I think, assault charges from 2020. If it took them this long to make this Harden-esque trade where it didn't feel like they were winning anything, but other than getting one of their own back, I don't know what's going to happen to WNBA star Britney Griner on her situation. It needs to be highlighted to some extent because she's only been but she's been away for probably almost 3 to 4 months now. I think since February. So if I don't know if this is a trade situation or we just have to wait until she has some sort of sentence. I don't know. I'm really confused as to this happening or how it would happen. But if this is who we got for the Marine, I don't even know what they're gonna offer or what we have to offer for Brittany at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Especially in the middle of this situation with Ukraine. I'm just praying for her. I hope her head is high, not because she's just tall and everybody there, but just because I don't see any end game for it right now.
Listen, her case is just a case of bad timing and poor judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't be in the worst place doing the worst thing at the worst time.
No.
All we can do is just pray that, to your point, she's keeping her head high and at some point she comes home.
Mm-hmm.
How they're going to work this out, man, I've never understood the way, depending on what country, how they look at assault versus drugs. It's completely different in most countries. It's amazing.
It's weird the disparity those two things have. Like, not to be, like right before the show, even with the NFL, like Goodell holds gambling and penalties a lot higher than domestic violence amongst the same players, same group. But granted, the gambling puts no one in harm, no one's hurt, no one. It's a player making a personal judgment, and with technology these days, you could do a quick bet on your phone sitting on the toilet. I mean, versus I don't want to go to extreme to a Ray Rice issue, but to the point with God damn, we're just watching him. He's Deshaun Watson. His pending situation that kind of got pushed to the side because nothing kind of made it to the forefront as far as legal action. But he's kind of just waiting for Goodell to say yay or nay on my future as an NFL player. And I'm pretty sure the check cleared. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. But that's we pass sports. It is what it is. But the disparity between one crime versus another crime, and then the penalties for those crimes, they never match up. It never made sense.
Yeah,
never makes sense, man.
Yep.
On a somber, sad, it's just a sad note, unfortunately. Mr. DJ K-Slay, also known as Desi Dez, also known as the Drama King, to many, but to his family and loved ones, he was known as Keith Grayson. He passed away from complications with COVID-19, which he was battling almost 5 months now, a little over 4.5 months. But unfortunately, he was laid to rest this past week. It was, I guess, funny when the news first broke, maybe 2-3 months ago, that he was in the hospital due to COVID.
Yeah,
I was just like, damn, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we got another one we know, but in my head, sometimes with celebrities, you kind of put them on a pedestal of you hope their financial gain or their notoriety is something that they could put in front of the health thing, and you just assume the health would come with those. And unfortunately for his case, it didn't work out. I assume everybody was hoping for the best. Just hoping he'll come out one day on the other end of it, but he couldn't get to the other end of it. And it was just hurt because you grew up with Slay, like the Thursday night lock-ins. You know what I'm saying? No pun intended with FCP, but it was just tough to hear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of my favorite rappers today is Pat Poose, and like without Slay, like I don't know Pat. You know what I mean? So as soon as I heard that news, like I thought of Pat before I thought of Slay's real family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because I couldn't imagine what he's going through. Like, for someone to put him on a platform or a pedestal or even give him a stepping stone to be who he is today as the rapper, the man, it was just very hurtful. Like, you know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine what he was going through.
Yeah, man. Like we started the show off with, man, brothers, we gotta take care of ourselves. We really we've been talking about this for 2 years now. If you ain't been getting your checkups, if you ain't been making sure that, you got your situation together, do it. Because, COVID is real. It exposed so much. And we're still losing people to this day. We talked about this 2 shows ago before we had the interview. We are still losing people to this day. And rest in peace to K Slay. But really, I can't tell you enough the way it's impacting underrepresented racial groups, but mostly black people. The way it's hitting us, it's hitting in a way that we've never seen before. And there's a reason behind it, right? There's plenty of things we could look at, but the main thing here is if you do get a chance to get the equitable resources to get to the doctor, man, do it.
Do it.
I can't tell you how many people say, I gotta go to work, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I can't schedule it. Man, listen, you get on that bed, you start thinking about every moment where you should have said, fuck that thing I thought I had to do.
That's a fact.
I should have been taking care of this. It's not a game.
I tell my coworkers often, it's like, they was like, oh, I got to do ABC with the job. I'm like, no disrespect, fam, but if you got hit by a bus today, there will be a new Indeed ad for your very seat posted next Monday morning.
Yep.
Like, it sucks to say out loud. You never want to be that guy, but it's all temporary. Like, you know, I mean, these deadlines are cool and all, but if you dead, that's the end of the line, bro. Like, it's not happening anymore. Like, someone else has to figure it out for that company. But your health, your personal welfare, like, you are in charge of that. You need to make sure that's a priority and a second priority. You know what I mean? If you could, just to make sure you're on top of it, because I mean, we're not psychics. I know, especially black people and other people of color or descent, like, they shy away from the hospitals and the doctors just because maybe it was something their parents didn't grow up with or doing as frequently as they should. But getting older, getting smarter, having the ability to understand something with technology, do your part. Do your checkups. Men, you're approaching 40. Get those checkups. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about it because I got to go do it. But get your checkups, man. You need it. You need to. You have to.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Have to.
And on the subject of COVID, man, so mask mandates have been the talk of the town for the last 2 weeks. Basically, the federal court threw it out saying it's unlawful, but Kathy Hochul came behind that for New York State and said, hey, listen, we still want masks on public transportation, healthcare facilities, you know what I mean? So in New York State right now, if you've been on the trains, you know it's make a break, you know what I mean? For every 4 people, maybe 2 of them got a mask on, 2 don't. The best I can tell you is if you're vaccinated, probably still want to keep on a mask. If you're not vaccinated, you definitely need to have your mask on. But just be careful out there, people. Be smart, be safe, because we all want to make sure this year we can have real in-person gatherings without the state trying to shut us down again. I can't stress that enough.
That is a fact. That is a whole fact. Trying to think of anything else. Anything else that you want to cover or get across? Anything prior to the next show, maybe?
So the one last thing I will say is, of course, we're recording this before the first. I'll actually be doing the bike tour when most of you are listening to this.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be doing a New York City bike tour while most of y'all are listening to this. or maybe the day after you'll be listening. So please check on me. It's 40 miles.
40 miles?
40 miles, bro. And that's not counting getting to the start wave session and then coming back home.
Where does it start?
So it starts in the city, around like Murray Street, like
You gotta get there
like
with your bike.
fresh off the ferry. Yeah.
Jesus.
So what we actually do is we meet up in Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
So more than likely I'll be seeing you after.
Okay. I'm in.
So we meet up in Staten Island that morning. We ride to the ferry, take the ferry into the city, go to our start place, and then the tour starts, and you just pretty much riding through Staten Island into Brooklyn, then into Queens, and then back in through to Staten Island.
Can you take an e-bike?
Huh? I think there will be people doing that this year. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people out there making it seem like that. Hey, listen, whatever floats your boat, I ain't mad at you. But the cool thing about it is there's rest stops where they got like bananas, other energy joints, water.
That's what's up.
If at any point you feel like, hey, listen, I'm good, I'm going home,
I'm going to make this left, y'all.
You can do that. But they shut the city down. You can pretty much, the whole dope part of it is you're riding through New York City with all these other people who are doing it. People on the side cheering you on.
That's what's up.
It's an awesome experience, man. And then the best part about it is after it all, you can pretty much eat whatever you want because you just rode a bike for 40 miles. Yeah.
that double cheeseburger you've been eyeing all week, it's time. It's time. Your body needs it. It's time.
Exactly, man. So that will be happening. And then the last show I saw from the shop, LeBron said something really cool that I like. He said, nobody wants to work for what they want. Everybody wants instant oatmeal. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to actually, take the time to really make something healthy and work towards really satisfying themselves. And then Rick Ross came behind him and he said, it'll hit your stomach and you'll go to sleep, but it ain't enough. Yeah. And I say that to say, man, I know some of you right now are just like, you don't know where to get started or you feel like you're not doing enough. You got to wake up every day willing to put the work in because nobody's going to give you anything. There's 100 people out there that qualify for something just like you. What's going to make you better than them?
What separates you from the pack?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, it's going to be the work that you put in. And you notice I didn't say hard.
Just the work.
You know what I mean? It depends on the way you put the work in. Just because you work from 7 to 7 don't mean you any better because I could get the work done between 7 and 12 that you get done in 7 to 7. So I want y'all to hold on to that because we're getting close to the midpoint of the year. And we know we started off the year with resolutions and goals. Just want to remind y'all, man, get after them goals, man.
Gotta stay on them too.
Yeah.
Another thing, just to piggyback what you're saying, like a lot, like you said, everyone's looking for the instant gratification, and no one knows that it takes people 20 years to be like the overnight success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you put in a little bit of work a day, if you do that every day though, that adds up. Like you do an hour a day of anything, at the end of the year, you have 360 plus hours of whatever you were doing better than what you knew about the time before. A little bit helps. You don't have to crack the whole block.
Right.
Just chip at it a little bit at a day. A little bit a day, bro. You'll get there. I promise you. And no matter what you want, what you're aiming for, you get there. Just gotta do it every day.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Next week already, Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, yes.
Shout out to the moms, the grandmas.
I have no
sisters,
idea what I'm doing with my mother or my wife.
The sisters, everybody. Christina, Jen, Dorothy, Maria, Shay, everybody. Yes, man.
Love you all,
love
man.
You guys. Happy Mother's Day. You know the vibes, man. I'm super out of ideas. So if you got anything, let me know, please.
Seriously, man. Like, fill their bellies and make them smile, man. That's this point.
That's it. You know what I mean? There's nothing you do. But please appreciate your moms in your life, especially. Just let them know you love them. Not just this day, but every day, as you should. It's Mom Dukes. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll get disrespected next month with like a barbecue or some shit.
You know what I'm
You know how
saying?
it goes.
Big piece of chicken or some shit.
You might not even get the big piece, but you got a piece. You know,
not even a whole cake, man. You get a cupcake these days. It's so disrespectful.
It's rough. We'll talk about it.
Definitely, man. So once again, man, thank y'all for checking us out, man. Like we said, subscribe, whether you're watching us on YouTube, listening on the audio. Like my man said, the merch is live, man.
It's out here.
You know what I mean? The link is in the comments. You can also check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Check us out. Yeah, man, all that good stuff. And listen, you are now released back into your regularly scheduled programming. Corporate life, parental life, whatever it is that you do, we salute you. Especially with entrepreneurship. I ain't forget it.
I ain't forget about you.
I'm Senor Lee.
I'm Ken Kapnick.
See you back next pay week when we lock back in to a free state of mind.
Push.
We out, man. Make sure y'all behave yourselves for Cinco de Mayo, all right?
No promises.
He said no promises.